Hey guys, it's me, Sienna, and today we're going to be taking a look at some more of the Resident Evil 9 trailer. One theory I was absolutely dying about was the fact that you guys thought I was Grace. I'm not Grace! Or am I?
Quickly, before we jump into more theories, yes, Capcom has announced that Resident Evil Requiem's Grace Ashcroft is the new main character, guys. But we already knew that, right?
I'm really curious to know what people are thinking so far. And also thank you guys so much for all of your comments on the previous video. I'll put them all on the screen right now. You guys had some insane theories and I'm really excited to see if any of those come true. The first YouTube channel that I wanted to react to, it's every important detail you missed in the Resident Evil 9 reveal trailer by Nerd Space Games. But without further ado, let me stop yapping, let's go take a look. And let me know how many of these things you guys picked up on. Ooh, trailer time.
With us at the FBI, in which we are introduced to what we can assume is one of the main characters of the game, Grace Ashcroft. Any hardcore fans of the series would immediately recognize her last name, as Alyssa Ashcroft was a playable character in Resident Evil Outbreak Files number.
Did you guys play Outbreak? Let me know.
This isn't the first time Alyssa's name has come up.
Real quick, I'm going to interject this Evil Blitz video of 12 details you missed in the Resident Evil 9 trailer because he actually goes into more depth with Alyssa. And I thought this was really interesting.
Her mother being none other than Alyssa Ashcroft, an investigative reporter who played a prominent role in the Resident Evil Outbreak games, acting as one of the many survivors who battled through the Raccoon City incident and managed to escape before its destruction. Alyssa was also mentioned in Resident Evil 7 from numerous articles found around the game, which discuss her investigation into mysterious disappearances in the town of Dolby during the Baker family incident.
Moving on, we also noticed that Grace was doing some research on some murders that revolve around some sort of disease. Honestly, this sequence gave me hardcore Arclay vibes with how Chris.
This is so creepy. I like that they included this though. I don't know. Would you guys want to see me do an Alan Wake playthrough? I don't know what this reminded me of Alan Wake, so I thought I would bring it up. Let me know.
Moving on, Grace is told by her superior, Nathan, that he needs her to be at the scene of a recent crime that apparently took place in the same location that Grace's mother died in, Renwood Hotel. After being told this, we are treated.
Isn't this like a conflict of interest, by the way?
Flashback sequences, which leads me to more hidden details. First off, we get to see what I believe to be Alyssa Ashcroft investigating the Renwood Hotel.
That's what I was thinking.
Scenes that we see in this sequence of flashbacks, I'm guessing that these flashbacks could be playable in the same way that Mia's flashback sequence was playable in RE7.
I think honestly they're gonna allow us to play as Alyssa, which would be really, really cool.
Again, we are dealing with the same director of RE7, so that really wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Also, fun fact time, it's kind of crazy that we got to see Alyssa Ashcroft, a playable character in a spin-off game on the RE engine before we saw characters like Rebecca Chambers and Barry Burton.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A hooded man in a flashback sequence in which I assume is Alyssa's killer. I have a theory about this character, but I'll talk more about him later on, as it won't be the last time we see him, and I think we do get a better look at him later. After the flashback.
I think one of you guys said that you think it's an older Leon, so I guess we'll see. I found this other video from Evil Blitz talking about how the hooded man could be Leon, so let me put that here.
Haunting flashbacks of her mom's death, she remembers a mysterious hooded person, and we actually never find out who this person is. But some people are pointing out the fact that the person's facial structure is very similar to that of Leon Kennedy. And this by no means is official, but well-known leaker Dust Golem has mentioned that Leon will play a prominent role in this game.
Yeah, Leon
so
has
maybe
to be
this
in
might
it.
just be Leon.
You guys think that's Leon? What? I want to put like a poll or something down in the comment. Let me know, who is the hooded man?
We see three surgeons looking over at what I assume is Grace before the screen fades to black, followed by Grace waking up, strapped down, and unable to move. I assume the surgeons that we saw prior to this did some sort of surgery on her after kidnapping her when she arrived at Renwood Hotel. We can assume this because Grace is covered in bloody bandages.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
We see a montage.
Why didn't I think about that? Like, when I was watching the trailer, the first time, yeah, obviously, I was reacting with you guys. I was like, oh, they got her in the hotel, she's upside down, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I guess they were doing something to her.
Different locations and characters throughout the game. First, we see a long, creepy hallway with boarded up windows that I assume is Renwood Hotel, maybe? The next shot that catches my attention is a man in a chair who mentions the chosen
Yeah, who are you, buddy? Who are you?
and specifically says Ashcroft, meaning that this man seems to think that Alyssa or Grace, probably the latter, is the chosen one for something. I think this guy is Oswell E. Spencer. There's a lot of things that point to this being the case, from the stranger's mannerisms to his voice to even the style of his hair. So many things point to this guy being Oswell E. Spencer. Spencer knew Mother Miranda and was well aware of her Megamycete. Anybody that dies who is connected to the Megamycete in any way joins the hive mind of the Megamycete. This essentially means that your consciousness is uploaded to this network upon your death. This is why we see Mother Miranda, Eve, and even Ethan Winters in the Shadows of Rose DLC. So, assuming Spencer is also connected to the Megamycete somehow, then he too would have had his consciousness added to its network.
That's bonkers. If that's true, that's freaking insane. Also, guys, how cool would a Mother Miranda a Mother Miranda cosplay would be absolutely insane. Can you imagine if I did like a gender bend of Heisenberg? Like, whenever we play Resident Evil 9, I'm just Heisenberg all of a sudden. That would be crazy. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Miranda attempted to bring her daughter's consciousness from the network and upload it into Rose's body. Spencer could have done the very same thing for himself. Hence, Spencer could still be alive. And considering the themes of Resident Evil 9 with it dealing with the past and bringing us back to locations that we are familiar with, which we'll talk about soon, Spencer being the main villain of the game just makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I personally don't really recognize any of the voices, and I can't be sure as to who they are except for the last 3 voices, maybe.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
One sounds a little like an older Leon potentially, but I'm definitely not sure on that. Another, at least for me, sounds a little like Annette Birkin from RE2 Remake, but actually I think this might be Alyssa Ashcroft recording a message for her daughter before her death.
Okay.
People compare this voice to Jill Valentine, and while that's very possible, based on what the voice is saying, I'm thinking it's more likely Alyssa. The final voice that caught my attention sounded like a little girl which sort of resembled Cherry Birkin, but again, it could also be Grace as a child.
Evil Blitz also took a stab at guessing the voices from this part of the trailer, so here are his thoughts. Let me know what you guys think.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Now, there's been a lot of theories online of who this could be, but to me, the first person sounds like Leon, the second one sounds like Ada, and the third one sounds like it could either be Chris or Carlos from Resident Evil 3. None
I
of
can
this
see
is
Carlos.
confirmed, but I know there have been so many different rumors talking about the return of these iconic characters, but we will just have to wait once we see more of the characters.
Okay. I could see that.
Who is screaming "stay away from me," followed by one of the creepiest sequences in the trailer, a creepy shadow figure crawling down the walls. Now, at first this immediately reminded me of the Suspended in Outbreak, but I'm not 100% sure about that either. However, if this is indeed what it is, it makes me wonder if we'll see a flashback sequence of Alyssa in Raccoon City during the Outbreak games.
No.
Those of you that haven't played Outbreak, the Suspended is essentially a zombie that is in the process of turning into a liquor.
Ew.
And it's kind of crazy that this concept was never used for a future game. Although there was a concept similar to this.
Ew. Look at this thing.
But ultimately didn't make the final.
No.
Look at this thing though. Absolutely terrifying. Either way, flashback sequence, or if this scene
You could not pay me enough money.
The Suspended on the RE engine is going to be absolutely terrifying.
When I first heard the chains, I thought of Lisa Trevor from Resident Evil 1, and the last time we actually saw her was when Wesker left her to die in the Spencer mansion once it exploded. But with her regeneration abilities, I feel like it wouldn't be a stretch for her to have survived and continued to roam around for years. And I actually want to go back earlier in the trailer to this enemy. If you look on the wrist, you can actually see chains just like her appearance from Resident Evil 1. So maybe we might just see Lisa act as some sort of stalker enemy around Raccoon City, but we will have to see.
Okay, well, whatever that freaking thing is, I don't want to go up against that. I want like a flamethrower. I want my own nuke to fight that thing.
Rumors around a second playable character, and notable leakers like Dust Gollum is saying that it will be Leon S. Kennedy. Well, after seeing that the series brings us back to Raccoon City, essentially where it all started for Leon, I would be shocked if he or another main
It's gotta be Leon. It's gotta be.
I mean, come on, you don't bring us back to Raccoon City and not make one of the legacy characters face their past here, now do you?
Yeah.
So I feel like the reveal of Raccoon City all but guarantees that a character like Leon or Jill will also be a main playable character of Resident Evil 9. Let me know if I missed
Thank
any
you,
of
Nerd
those.
Space Games. Guys, I am gonna react to a couple more theories too, because I really appreciated all the theories that were put into this video. I want to take a look at some more. I want to see some fan theories. Let's go look on Reddit. What does Reddit think? Let's go look. Okay, now we're on Reddit. This person went freaking ham with this post. Number one, their theory of the villain being Oswell E. Spencer, just like we saw in the Nerd Space Games video. What do you guys think? Could be. Look at him. He's vibing. He's very villain. He's giving villain. He's vibing. What is he listening to? What is he listening to? Number two, the voices in the trailer at 2:45 and 2:48 belong to Leon and Jill. Okay. We had some people saying Leon and Ada. Now we have Leon and Jill. What do you guys think? Three, Grace Ashcroft will be Spencer's test subject for the creation of the BOW we will face in the game. Of course, this is all a theory based on the information we have so far. So yes, take this all with a grain of salt, guys. I'm sure a lot of you are on to something. I like how this is described as Requiem is a love letter to longtime fans, and I really think that with this game that it's going to be. As more theories come out, I would love to do like a community discussion or like create some sort of Discord server to talk about these things. Just a space for you guys to kind of talk and we can like bounce ideas off of each other. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts, theories, everything. Like, I know I asked 1,000,001 questions during this video. Try your best to like pick one or two questions out and reply down below because I'm curious to know what you guys think. I bet you guys are right. I bet you guys are onto something. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the bell icon to be notified when I post. If you have any questions, comments, requests, or concerns, please feel free to let me know down below or message me. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.